And yep, we are live. Oh
Oh, no, what the buck is up, every pony?
no, he's clearly out of sorts today.
Oh, then we can't say that anymore.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
what the buck is up, every pony?
Oh,
What's up?
Well, I believe we did have Milk Thistle, but he might have stepped away.
Yeah.
But does anyone want to give a rundown of last time?
Let's see. Last time we came down to. Oh, no, actually, first of all, Alexanderite and Milk Thistle had a meeting with. Yeah, they had a meeting in the temple where Alexandrite drank his sleepy time tea and met with a vision of the nightmare. And basically did not get any sleep from that.
No.
And then I believe we came down to the center square to disrupt a what should I call it? Basically, a gathering of the doomsayers,
yeah.
or at least
Sorry.
an attempted gathering.
We detained him.
Mm-hmm. And then that broke out into a riot, which we've pretty handily dispersed.
Next thing you're gonna know is he's gonna be going, police brutality, police brutality.
I mean, he's already knocked out, so he can't be doing that.
Help, help. I'm being abused by the system.
Am I being detained? I'm not traveling, I'm traveling.
As with us, like being beaten them.
Good sir, you're about to be detained.
Alright, I believe.
Yes, I see you know your judo well.
I believe we left off just after you knocked him out, and the rest of the crowd scattered to the surrounding buildings, basically. So they all ran off to different directions.
Yes, we had a large number of them forced down through command greater. Once that wears off after about, I think, 20 seconds after the fight ends, how do they respond?
They run off, basically.
Okay. Have we started the recording?
Yeah, it's already going. You missed your moment.
What the fuck is up, everybody?
No, it's too late now. I had to do it.
Yeah.
No, that's my thing. You do whatever you need to do, and nobody's taking that from you.
10 minutes too late.
God, I love this group. You're all such screwballs.
Alright, so with the area clear of civilians and you guys standing with the unconscious pony there, I believe you searched him. You removed his spiked chain, but you would also find a holy symbol. It does not look like anything to do with deer at all. A knowledge religion check will be able to work out what it is.
Alright, let's see.
I would. I'm not going to describe it because those of you who might already know what the symbol is by the description. That's why I'm not telling you what it looks like.
Yeah, I will give the attempt.
I'm
My best knowledge.
Yep.
I did.
Knowledge religion.
I did roll blind, but it didn't show up in the feed. Do we have that, John?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I've got it. I can see it.
So they made it so you can't even see our roll, or we can't even see our roll.
Oh. I kind of like
So
the
we're
fact
just
that.
assuming that everything's broken.
Yeah. No, I've definitely got the results. I kind of like the fact that you could see it, but you couldn't. But you couldn't see the answer, so you knew you were wrong. So,
Yeah, I don't know. Like, it didn't do that with my other games that I'm in.
maybe I've got a module that's doing it then.
Maybe.
All right. So Burnt, you're the only one who can tell what this symbol is. You've probably seen it before in your travels, and this is an unholy symbol of Apep.
Huh?
He slowly lets out a deep sigh and goes, Pep, we need to destroy this and inform. Actually, let's take it tonight to Midnight Vision later tonight. See what
Yeah,
he
we,
suggests.
no
Hey,
need to
Pep.
destroy it. We need to take it in as evidence.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't that the other god that was locked away?
I think he he sort of rubs his head a bit. He's like, I'm a little bit rusty on my religious research.
I mean, oh, hang on. Before I should do wishful pen. It's knowledge.
Yeah.
She has to be better than Burns. He
Uh,
only has a 3.
is that blind?
I was gonna say yours is not much higher than mine. I got a 5 in religion.
She gets an extra this to it. Pretty good. Um, Wishful goes. I don't know too much. He did. He did. He was released from somewhere, and caused about the end of the cats.
I'm completely unfamiliar with this god. I've never heard of him.
Um, he's. He, well, I don't think he's not really a god. He's a. I believe he's a very powerful demon of sorts. But I'm not
Yeah.
entirely. I would have to read up on him. I have to say it's not an area that I know too much about.
There's a reason that we keep this stuff secret and forgotten. And this is one of those reasons. Whenever a pep is involved, there's nothing good that comes out.
These are secrets that should not be kept from us. We should know our enemy.
Fair to say. As I said, I'm rusty on my religious teachings. There might be some pony here in town that would be able to, one of the temples maybe, they would be able to assist better in
What
explaining.
What are you trying to recall, Bernd? Because your check will get you some information, so you might know some stuff.
He's trying to recall what exactly Pep was imprisoned for, if he can.
You
even
have
remember.
no idea about that.
Well, what would you guys like to know? I might be able to remember something, but I can't remember everything.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of okay, what would yeah, it's like I know APEP out of character. I'm trying to think of like what questions I could ask that or would be relevant in character.
Milk would ask, what is Apep's nature, and why does he deserve our attention?
Yeah, that sounds about as the right question.
You would at least know some about his nature. That's ordinary worship. Yeah, I suppose you would only know it from the people side of it. Generally, you know those that follow APEP are often seen as mad or traitors in equal measure. to follow such a demon. Um, um, whatever plans he has are generally not good, and revolve around destruction or um, uh, basically or fire is the sort of stuff you are aware of.
This APEP sounds as though it resembles the Stag Lord. Are they the same but different names?
It's possible, but at the same time, it could be a pet trying to use the Stag Lord to bring about the ruination.
There's no point in us speculating here. We need answers.
Yes.
Let's
I,
take this third.
Agreed.
I would have to ask the head cleric a bit more about APEP directly, or to get access to a few additional books. But I'm sure we'll be able to find out why he would be interested.
Then let us take this treasure to the high priest of the author.
Agreed.
Alright, does anyone have manacles, or do we need to use rope?
No, he's already manacled.
Yeah,
I
it-
think I had some.
Yep. I had some masterwork manacles. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, let's-
Thanks to a trade. Thank God.
very nice.
Yeah, very much Metal Banana came prepared. Alright, let's get you guys.
Come prepared.
Let's get us back to the city map. Yes, I have just selected the right one.
Out of character, Alexandra, what's your health at now?
My health. 121 out of 121.
Let's see. Burns is at 116.
Pretty good.
116 out of 116.
Yeah.
Mine is at an even 100.
Ooh, nice.
Mine is at a 116.
So same as Burns. Okay.
I believe the only person who actually got injured in that was Metal Banana as well.
Yeah.
That's me. Lucky me.
Yeah.
Sorry.
While this map is loading up, I learned something very disheartening about clerics in PF2E. They lose so many of their buffing and debuffing spells in 2E.
Yeah.
That was very unfortunate because I love playing the support role as a cleric. It's going to be very difficult for me to translate Milk to 2E if I ever choose to do so.
Yeah, there's a bunch of characters that I just can't even translate over.
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure that with the new supplement books that Paizo is releasing, they'll do something to help out with that. But until we actually see, well, you know, probably not.
Well, time will tell. I mean, I haven't sat down and made many classes in it, so.
Yeah, and I haven't gone through the full 2E spell list for clerics, but first, second, and third level spells are pretty narrow.
Yeah. Are we moving over to this map? Because normally I've loaded by now.
Everything's gray for me, so.
Yeah, I'm on the same.
I had to click on the name to get it to load.
Oh yeah, looks like that's what I had to do too.
Okay, at the top of the map where it says Villager Town, click on that, guys. For some reason,
Yeah.
you need to do that.
Okay, loading in quickly, actually.
Yeah.
Frozen 95%.
Frozen at 99. It's like, finally loading in. It's like, haha, freeze on glass sliver. No!
I'm frozen at 28.
Oh god.
Yeah, this reminds me of Windows XP back in the day, like around 2000, 2001. You would try to run a program and it would load up and it would like load up really, really fast and like, yes, high speeds, and then it would stop at 99%. And it would
Oh, yeah.
It's like, why?
I miss Windows 7. That was my favorite version of Windows.
I think mine was XP.
XP was pretty good. I know that people,
That's for sure.
yeah. I mean, I know people say, oh, Windows ME was great. It's like, no.
I mean,
no, it had its perks, but
Has anyone updated to Windows, I think it's 11 now?
not
I
yet.
unfortunately had to.
I definitely.
I'm going to continue running Windows 10 until they stop supporting it. That's what I do.
Yeah, basically.
I did once I got a brand new computer and I hate it.
Yeah, I kind of figured.
I would have to update my computer to be able to run Windows 11 because it told me I couldn't do it.
99%.
Yeah, I'm kind of at that point where it's like, nah, I'm not going to update till it forces me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it forced me to update. It was like, oh, hey, you said you like this, right? Yeah, well, guess what? We no longer support it. No.
Yeah, I used a Windows XP computer for quite a while after it was stopped supported. What eventually made me stop was when something went wrong and I had to reformat it. Manually reinstalling XP and all of the updates was 2 days I will never get back in my life. Because all the automatic updates had stopped, so I had to do everything manually. It was not fun.
I don't understand why it's taking so long to. Oh, I got my screen. It's at 100%.
Yeah.
Oh, I see a little C. Yeah, there you go. You're there.
Yeah, I'm still at the 99.
I think it's just that it's my upload speed's obviously a lot slower than anticipated.
It's alright.
I might have to relook at this the map and upload a slightly smaller version of it. But I can't.
But we'll just break the map in like pieces.
Yeah, can we just do Theater of the Mind?
Yeah, we can carry on while it's. I mean, mine's loaded, so we can see the map anyway on the stream. All right, so where about you guys? You're dragging them. Are you just going to drag them through the streets to the All Seasons Temple?
I think you can be carried.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we'll carry into the All Seasons Temple directly to the High Priest of the Altar. Since she's
Yeah.
the one who does the mission.
So you entering through. I mean, obviously, you guys attract attention anyway, no matter where you go. But you head into the temple. Now, the author doesn't have a wing. All it's got is the big book in the entrance hall. And you can't see the pony who gave you the message around anywhere.
Do we have access to the secret back room area?
What part of the backroom area?
You know, where we all had those meetings.
Oh, you mean the big circle? Okay, no, that area is a restricted area. Unless you're invited, you can't go there.
Alright, Midnight Vision's going to be asleep.
He would be.
Let's go to the Sun Queen Temple.
Alright.
They should be done with their morning ritual by now.
Yeah, it's summer. They would have started earlier. So yeah, they would be.
Okay. Alexandra will, well, I guess it depends on who's actually carrying the guy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, who wants to be carrying him?
Well, I would recommend not Alexandrite.
Oh, yeah, I got the big metal spikes now.
Yeah. Yeah, so does Bird.
Okay, Metal Banana, we volunteer you.
Yeah, yeah, I was about to volunteer. Right.
Okay.
She's stout. She can do it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Alexander will
Yeah,
lead the
yeah,
way.
yeah. I have an 18 into strength. I'm good.
All right. You guys enter into the Sun Queen's, or the Sun Wing. Um, it's still fairly busy. What you would expect for just after morning mass. You still got the normal sort of crowd that comes in during this time of the morning, or as well as the additionals that you've managed to have follow you and have got nothing better to do than follow glowing people around. But you very quickly attract the attention of one of the more higher up clerics who will come over to you to have a quick word, and who will come up to whoever's at the front. Go. I take it you. Do you wish anything?
Yes,
Go
we
ahead.
we happen to have captured one of the doomsayers. We need a place to keep him.
Milk would quickly place a hoof on your shoulder and say, "We do not need to speak of this in public. Simply request to speak to the High Priest."
We speak to the high priest.
Certainly. I will. I will go and get Sunbright. Um, do you want to wait here?
That will be fine. Kindly send word to the High Priest of the offer as well.
Oh, certainly.
And Milk Thistle will. Is there a donation box in the Sun Queen wing?
Yes, every wing has a donation box.
Milk Thistle will put a silver coin into the donation box.
Um, it doesn't take too long before the High Priest of the Sun Queen does make their appearance. And the older stallion will come up to you guys and go, "You wish to speak to me? Do you want to? Do you need it in private?"
Yes.
Yes.
Well then, this way, as he basically takes you through one of the doors, which does lead to sort of a back room area, and he will take you to a larger meeting room. Where obviously it's designed to house a few people around a circular table. As you all enter in, he has a look and oh, as he is walking there, he will quickly speak with one other person before you guys obviously make your way to the room. He just basically indicates to obviously inform Endless Story, I believe his name was. I could be wrong on that one. My
I
brain needs.
think that's correct.
I think it is as well. Names is one of those things that can never stick in my brain. Yes.
Yeah, it sounds close enough to Never Ending Story, which I think that was what I referred to this guy as.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Endless Story basically says where they will be, well, where you'll be. And enters in, and once the door closed, he will gesture towards the individual who's clearly unconscious, and goes, "I'm assuming it's something to do with this individual.
That would be correct.
Do they require
And,
some sort of assistance?"
Yes, Alexander will pull out the symbol of APEP.
He had that on him. Turns
Huh?
out he's a worshipper of a pet.
Well, I suppose there would be a few within the city bounds.
So, what I'll do, Bernd is going to be very, he's going to be very polite towards the elder Stonies gonna say, if we may, what all do you know of a pet? My knowledge is very rudimentary at best.
Do you know of the deserts south of here?
Yeah.
Uh, they exist because of his actions. When he was awoken, he laid waste to the entire region while he was able to walk upon the mortal plane before his time ran out. And that devastation obviously is still felt today. And he brought about the end of the Age of Cats as well. I mean, their downfall was obviously our benefit. Obviously, then the Age of the Ponies came about. But that is kind of what he is about. Destroying something so something new can take its place. He does want destruction, chaos, but he will never destroy something fully, because if you destroy something fully, there's nothing else for you to destroy later.
Is he a god or merely a demon?
He is definitely a demon of great influence and power within the abyss, and I believe he does control many layers of demons under him, and so forth.
Is it possible? Bird sort of like says this as he cringes a bit. Is it possible that a pep can control other beings, like God? Say, for example, a corrupted god.
I wouldn't have thought so. Not another being of equal or greater power. Like with most demons, he can control those that are weak of will or underneath him in the demon hierarchy.
My
From what
guess
we-
is. Oh, sorry.
Thank you. From what we briefly learned of this Apep, his nature seems nearly identical to that of the Stack Lord. I'm not sure if they're the same being but under a different name, or if they're in league with each other.
I do not. Well, I know very little of this other stag lord, so I cannot confirm or anything. But Apep has never been known by such a name in the past, or at least not that I'm aware of. It is possible that they do share similar traits, and given what we already know, it's very possible that Apep may simply be joining the side of destruction, lending his support and influence to see that it takes place.
Do you believe Apep is merely an opportunist?
I would have thought so at this point.
Well, this one, and he gestures to the pony that's still unconscious, is quite brazen. He was very open in public, not attempting to conceal his message at all. And he became a rabble-rouser. When we confronted him, he pointed out, quite astutely, that he was doing nothing illegal. However, to turn our people against each other is something that cannot be tolerated. And in the end, his words managed to convince a large number of them to attack us. We were able to subdue the civilians, and they ran off once this one was subdued. But if one carries this symbol and speaks the same way he does, then there are likely more. If there are no laws currently against this, they must be passed immediately so we can put a stop to it.
Well, it will be. I mean, speaking about speech about Apep and what have you is, and worship of him is forbidden, but there is no guarantee they are speaking of such things.
Perhaps not, but the subversion is quite clearly evident.
That is no different to somebody attempting to convert you to follow a different pony god, in a sense. Lines would have to be tread very carefully with anything.
I believe the line is quite clear. To worship a god such as Blaze, who requires strength and challenging, does not require the destruction of your own people or your civilization. This Apep clearly does, as does the Stag Lord. And this one carried the same message that, forgive me, out of character, I'm trying to remember her name. Shisha. This one is carrying the same message that Shisha is spreading.
Well, they're not, if I remember correctly from what you spoke, they are not saying to worship this god, they are simply saying do not fight him.
Correct.
Which is something different altogether. If they were trying to convert them to Apep, or even potentially followers of the Stag Lord, then yes, we will definitely have more grounds to better make it illegal. But they are treading the line carefully, and we cannot simply start bringing down an iron hoof, but legal matters is not where we stand on the matter. So you would need to take that directly to the council. They may see things differently, but I would be very cautious on how you wish to go about it, as I do know that there is at least some conversion between the temples, and it is welcomed, as everyone is expected to do the best they can be, and sometimes that requires them to see if they can spread their influence of their own deity, and we do not wish to breach that freedom. As he finishes, there comes the door opens up, and the old pony Endless Story comes in at this point. Oh, he goes, I'm afraid we've not yet had anything be brought to our attention in regards to any of the doomsayers. I'm still waiting word from the contact that what about the information that we were getting.
Out of character, I was mistaken. I thought Endless Story was already here.
Oh no, he wasn't, no.
Okay. Well, Milk Thistle would still share the same information and his thoughts on what should be done to control what people are saying.
Yeah, he sort of frowns. The freedom to he will mostly agree with basically what the Sun Queen deity spoke about, and he does say if people's destinies are to turn to a different light, then that is their destiny, and we should not interfere with it. But that is for the author to decide where their path walks. And
not at the expense of our civilization, especially when we're just starting to grow it again.
Well,
if this is beyond the temple's authority, I understand. But we cannot allow this message to continue spreading, because even if they are not here to convert the citizens of Velja Town to worship Apep or the Stag Lord, the fact that they carry his message and they are converting them into obedience is still a form of worship, whether they intend it or
The author's story will be written as it is. The paths and lines and the words have already been drawn out. We are simply moving along them. Should we succeed, has already been decided. We are merely playing our parts. Continue what you must, as that is the path you are walking, and that is the path you must take. But you are correct. The words you are speaking are those of legality, and that is not where the temple spreads its influence. Yes, we have somewhat of a say, but this should be taken to those that will bring into law what you wish, or what, or at least what you speak of.
Then perhaps it's time for that to change. Since this is of a religious matter, I believe it is time for those of us who follow that path to have the authority to put a stop to this. We are not fighting against a tyrant or a foreign king, we're fighting against a demon. And those with the power to stop it must have the authority to act and do so.
We are. I'm afraid you are dealing with a broken empire. There was once one person who would be able to bring swift judgment and would speak both from the religious standpoint and the empire standpoint, but they are gone. The council is what speaks for the city, and that is all that they speak for. If they pass a law, it will be a law within the bounds of the city and the grounds around it. That would not spread to Galloping Dam or St. Moon's Reach or anything. They will have probably their own standings at this point.
And I imagine that this message will be passed on to the other cities if it's made it all the way here.
It is quite possible that they are maybe speaking other places, though Viljutan is the biggest centre point for all of well, I'm going to assume for most ponies within the Empire still. But it's quite possible there are other agents elsewhere. How did you find him in the end?
Go ahead, Bert.
We were informed by a contact that they found where he was showing up at. So we went there and we dealt with them promptly.
Yeah.
I do think that we should be able to get more information. English is hard.
You made your own contacts then, I see. Fair enough.
Yes.
Respectfully, High Priest, it was your contact who sent us this, was it not?
No.
Pressing the author, High Priest.
Yeah, he goes, I've been waiting on something to bring to you, but nothing has come past my office yet. I mean, I know I did say that I was hoping to hear something either in the coming days, but yet nothing has come to me to pass on.
Well, it would appear that we managed to find him then. If we're looking to extract information from him, I would strongly suggest that we have the Inquisitors within the Nightmare Temple do so. Because I don't think I'd be able to stand being in this stallion's presence a moment longer because of the things he was spouting earlier while we were dealing with him.
Something is amiss. High Priest Endless Story, do your agents work independently of you? Because it was a representative of your temple that informed us that a doomsayer would be at a specific location, and we found him speaking openly in the streets. Were you unaware of this?
I was. I do not know directly who the contact is, but it was one of my clerics that said they had got word, and I instructed all should they receive additional word, to bring it straight to my attention so that I could obviously inform you.
So he acted independently.
No, something's wrong. GN,
Yeah.
we saw the face of the individual who gave us this information, correct?
Yes.
It was just a few hours ago this morning of this day.
Yes.
Nipthisel would give the description of the pony we spoke to,
Okay.
and then ask High Priest in the story. It's like, would you please send for this individual?
He goes, did you happen to get their name?
Out of character, I don't remember. I don't think we did.
No, you did not.
No. I would like to roll knowledge local to see if I can't recall their name.
They did not physically give it to you, so I can tell you now you would fail that check.
Right. Sorry.
No, that's fine.
Wait, were we sent on a wild goose chase? Was this nothing more than a distraction?
He
I
goes,
don't think it was a wild goose chase, considering that this was what we wanted, but...
True, but things are not that easy.
Yeah.
When I cast Ears of the City, every other doomsayer, informant, whatever you wish to call them, they were secretive. They would appear out of nowhere and then disappear. They were quiet in their approach. This one was flagrantly out in the open.
Burn sort of just, he very softly taps on the wooden table and says, if Nightshine were here, we'd be able to use his, what is it? Share memories? I think that's a spell he used to use.
yes.
Well, I will need time, but I will find this individual. I need an hour.
Affirmative.
I have my own theories I wish to look into.
But
The Sun Queen High Priestess said, in regards to the individual you have captured, we need to see to it that he is processed correctly within the law of the city. We do have somewhere that he can be detained, but we would prefer this not done within temple grounds. There is a jail cell, and which will have all the amenities that will associate with questioning, I'm sure. And the Inquisitors can do their work there under the watchful eyes of the law.
Very
This
well.
is perfectly fair.
I am a knight of the city. Should I be the one to bring him?
There is nothing wrong with you or all of you taking him.
I say we all go. I want to make sure this place is secured enough.
He does go to a Umik Thistle, because I assume you guys mentioned that you got a note.
yes,
He goes, may I see the note?
Nipthisel will present it.
He has a look at it, and he goes, well, this is the seal 2 of my desk. He goes, looking at the wax seal that was broken. But this is not my rating.
Do you recognize the writing?
No, I do not.
Out of character, let me just set my water down. I do have linguistics. I can attempt to figure out, like, the subtle differences.
I mean, if you had something to compare to, I would let you, but just looking at somebody, this random bit of paper and going, it's this person's handwriting, isn't going to happen.
Right.
Can we find someone with this note?
Does it? Or I'm sorry. What'd you ask?
I was gonna say, could we somehow use magic to track like who wrote the note with it, or?
Not exactly. Milk Thistle is going to remain behind at the temple and cast scrying because I have the description of the person, and I think that the note can be used to enhance the spell. But yeah, we need to find who gave us the note and who sent us on this. Because something definitely in this. Um, High Priest, endless story. Is your seal missing?
No.
Because if it's not, then that means someone was able to duplicate it.
As far as I'm aware, it is still on my desk. Or in my desk, I should say.
Would you kindly confirm?
I will, certainly. He will see if there's anything else you want to ask him before he will go and check.
I'm going to begin casting scrying immediately, and I will inform all of you what I discover.
All right.
Roger. Let's go.
I'm going to check out one of the other wings. I have a theory.
The High Priest of the Sun Queen will say, I will have some additional guards accompany you.
Right.
And Milk Thistle will write out a note to the Nightmare Temple, because I know Midnight Vision is going to be asleep, but one of the higher ranking clerics should be able to receive it, and he's going to give a brief description of what was discussed here.
Yep.
And then he's going to cast scrying to attempt to locate the individual who gave us the note.
All right. So the note will get passed along and will go to the Nightmare's Temple. I'm assuming they were informing Nightmare's Temple anyway to get their inquisitors to obviously question.
Yes.
So there's going to be a sort of a mixture of basically people going down to the jail area to obviously potentially question the person. I'm guessing that's going to be for the D20 when it comes up to the check.
No. So I'm using Inspired Spell. So
Oh, okay.
Basically, I used a Mythic Surge to generate a spell I had not prepared today.
Oh, okay, no, that's fine.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Alright. So, Milkfist is going to be doing that for an hour. Alex, you said you wanted to go to one of the wings and check something.
Yeah, I was going to go to Kara's wing.
Okay. You walk into Kara's wing and immediately on entering, you are approached by a cleric of Kara, and who will talk to you in a very sort of silky voice and go, welcome back, Paladin. Sorry, future Paladin of Kara. How can we be of assistance to you?
Is the head priestess in?
Oh, I'm certain that she will be able to squeeze you in.
Thank you.
Come this way.
Alexandra will follow the priestess. Also, everything she said about, future paladin of Kara, I'm just like,
You all made your bed.
Boy, the dark side.
I mean, you have equivalently almost agreed to sell your soul to save, to save lightning. So you just have to go to Blevlek to find your final nail in your coffin, so to speak.
Yeah.
All right, so you'll be led to a back room, which surprisingly, Kara's back rooms are far nicer. I mean, you're definitely put into a room where I don't want to say it's like it looks like a brothel, but I mean it might be mistaken to one. Very nice seating, very plush. Unlike some the other wings, places you've seen which when there's a lot of stone and what have you, you're definitely getting that feeling of lust and sex and you're getting that kind of vibe from this sort of place a little bit. At which point the High Priest of Kara will enter in and she will give you a smile. What brings you back to my abode then, Alexandrite?
I'm just checking in on things. Did you happen to have one of your agents bring us to one of the doomsayers?
Well, we do have many agents in many places, and I wouldn't confirm what any of them are up to, but I can certainly say we did not send you off anywhere, not yet anyway.
I would like to sense motive.
You can try.
Yeah.
I'm afraid Pony said something. Sense motive.
Here's the sense motive. So you sort of eye her up. You're pretty certain she's very truthful, but you also know she is very hard to read. But you do get the sense. You get the sense there's no deception there, as far as you can tell. But again, you do know. You can't be sure if that's because they're really good or they are being truthful. That you're uncertain of. But as far as you can tell, they are being truthful.
Well, if it's not one of yours, who else has access to the High Priest of the author's desk?
Well, I would have thought the High Priest of the author would be the first person you would jump to the conclusions of.
Well, we just had a meeting with him, and he was not the one to send us after the doomsayer.
And was you as judgmental with him as I saw your eyes were with me?
Do you think the High Priest would lie?
Well, I can't say for certain, but everybody has their secrets, do they not? I will admit, his secrets haven't come across my ears, so it is uncertain if he has any skeletons in his closet.
I figured you would be the first person to ask about someone else's secrets.
This is true, but just because I know secrets does not mean I will tell them. It's not much of a secret if everybody knows now, is it?
Well, I don't think the destruction of the pony gods would be something you're interested in.
No, I'm pretty certain we can agree that Kara would not be best pleased about such a thing.
Well, we're dealing with APEP, so any secrets that she might be willing to share would be a great boon to all of us.
Oh, dealing with APEP now. Things seem to be getting more and more interesting. But it does, I suppose, make some sense. And given the such small influence this Stag Lord may have had, leaning on somebody with possibly more of a standing, does make sense.
So you're saying the Stag Lord is outsourcing?
Well, it is certainly something that one will do when they don't have the resources of, say, a larger community might have. there's nothing wrong with hiring out a few of those who will at least do some of the dirty work for you, even if they don't know the full story. I mean, if you had a sort of a task you could not complete, would you not find somebody who you would hire for, say, a few gold to go and do it for you?
I suppose so.
I mean, it's unlikely they'll be paid in gold, but everybody has a price. You just have to work out what their prices are. Do you have a price, Alex?
Alexandrites, I'm just out of character, don't even know what to say to that. Not one that I'm willing to discuss.
Ah, but there is one, she says with a smile. Is there anything else you wish?
No. Sorry, just out of character, trying to gather my thoughts of like.
I have a feeling Alexandrite's kind of stood there stunned at that sort of very forthcoming come on, basically.
Alexander, may I offer you something out of character for your character?
Yes.
Be careful what deals you make, because if you stretch yourself too thin, you'll break.
There's nothing else at this time. If you happen to learn anything about who this mysterious pony that's been sending us on chases is, let me know, please.
Oh, I'll be sure to inform those who need to be informed of any developments that come ahead, be it you or some other loyal individuals that will get the deed done.
Very well. Good day to you.
And to you, Alex. Be seeing you again soon, I'm sure.
Alexandrite will just be tight-lipped and exit. Well, there goes that tree I was barking up.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, like, hey, someone who could break into the author's wing without any suspicions, deliver us a letter, like, it kind of made sense that it could have been Kara.
Yeah, I mean, it does make sense.
It is. I put it this way, it makes sense. Kara would do something like that to forward her own goals, type of thing.
Yeah.
So there is a logic there.
Yeah, and the shape changing abilities could like explain like someone who's a priest but not a priest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But do remember there are other ways to disguise yourself than just shape changers. Though shape changers, there's no magic involved, so you can't use like detect magic and go, oh look, they've got illusion spells on them. Type of thing. But yeah. I'm going to assume you're going to make your way to the the place where they're taking the APEP follower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm going to assume everybody else is heading there with the APEP follower then.
Yeah, everyone but Milk Thistle.
Yeah, I know Milk Thistle was doing his scrying. I'm mostly going to leave the... Oh, yeah?
I am definitely going because I'm the only one carrying him, so...
Fair enough. I'm going to leave the question with him until you're all together, so it gives you a chance for you all to see or do an additional questioning that that you guys may want to add. So, and also they need time to prep what they want to do and stuff. They do have a particular room which is a anti-magic room, which they can put spellcasters in. Because you're going to need, if you've got a jail, you're definitely going to need a magical jail.
Yeah.
Mm.
Use that tool.
So they've got something set up like that for individuals such as himself. Anyway, so Milk Thistle,
Yeah.
you were doing your scrying. Partway through your spell, obviously, Endless Story will come in, but he will see you are still in the middle of your spell, and he will wait until you finish because obviously he does not wish to interrupt your spell.
And I don't think you can answer this because it might be meta, but I did pose the question, would the letter that was given to us count as a possession of the target? Because if so, then they would take a -4, and since I've seen the target, they do not get a modifier.
You do not know if it would count as a possession.
I will still use it as part of the ritual because I suspect it will.
Alright. You do your spell, you focus clearly on the person that you saw earlier this morning as you cast. Now I just want to check one little detail about scrying. It's been a little while since I've looked this up.
Also, doing some research on some level 4 spells, I skipped over a bunch that are really good. So, I'm going to add those to my list and prepare them as needed.
Yes, this is what I'm wondering.
That's a good one.
Okay, right, yeah, I see the logic in it. Okay, so... So, that... You're basing it on that knowledge. So, that will be that... no, okay. Okay. Let's get me a private roll. And roll a d20.
You need the d20 from me, or are you rolling?
I think they have to roll will save, don't they?
They do, yes.
Yes. Need to know what the DC... Oh no, DC would be 21.
Correct.
Alright. I now need to double check what their personal modifiers are. They are somewhere. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Okay, so it'd be that number plus that. And that should be a private roll, so we'll hopefully. No, they wouldn't have anything else. Alright, so you begin to cast, but you... Do you know if it... What feedback do you get? As you finish casting the spell and you gaze within the water there, nothing becomes clear within the pool of water, within the time frame that you would normally expect it to.
Milk Thistle will take a deep sigh of frustration. Whoever gave us this letter is either very powerful or well protected.
And well connected, as my stamp is still within my desk. So either they copied it, or took it and returned it.
Milk Thistle will stand and begin packing away his belongings. I recommend, High Priest, that you, as well as all other High Priests, take inventory, see what has been shifted around, see if anything has been planted. Because I do believe that this APEP and Stag Lord, if they are not working together, they are working toward the same goal. And it's very likely that the temple itself has been infected. A full magical scan of the temple and the temple grounds, an investigation of all servants, clerics, paladins, whomever needs to be done. If there is anyone or anything that is out of place, it must be found immediately.
I applaud your vigilance, but I highly doubt that we will be able to conduct such a vigorous search, vigorous searching, and to the degree that you are expecting. But I agree, we will be as vigilant and will inspect things as best we can. But do remember, this is a open temple. Other than the back areas, thousands of people enter through those doors.
But only a select few would have access to your office.
This
That should narrow down your search.
is very true. But if they were sensible, they would not be one of those people. But we will see if the offer leads them to us. Was there anything else that you wished, Milk Thistle? If not, I'm sure your companions will want you help deal with their captive.
I do not believe so at this time, High Priest. My apologies. for not seeing this before it happened. We will double our efforts to remain vigilant as well, and we will keep the temple heads informed should we discover anything else.
You have nothing to apologise for. The author often sends us these twists in our story to keep us on our hooves.
Maybe so, but the nightmare tests us also every day, and I failed this time. And with that, Thistle will take out a piece of parchment, write another note, then he'll bow to the high priest and deliver that letter to the Nightmare Temple.
Yeah.
Basically, saying that the scrying failed, and his speculation that it's someone who's either very powerful or well protected, and then he'll go to the prison.
Alright, so the prison itself isn't the most nicest of looking of places. There is mostly the city guard that kind of obviously look after it. It's not like a massive building which is designed to house like hundreds of people. It is attached to one of like the guard posts that are scattered around the city, so it's fairly low key, and it could hold probably no more than 10 people, but it definitely could hold spellcasters and all sorts. There's a few additional rooms and what have you, as well as obviously like a guard barracks there. This is obviously a place where they can hold people until they move them to a more secure place or whatever they end up doing with their prisoners. The individual is placed within a cell. They're not given any healing or anything like that. And the guard is increased around the area. You will have a few people from the temple, which will be temple guards, as well as obviously yourself, a representative from the Sun Queens, somebody from Blaze as well, and you would also have you have an individual from the Moon Princess, and you have a few Inquisitors from the Nightmare as well. So there's a fair few people about.
Thistle will give his respectful nods and approach the party.
Yeah, you would be stopped momentarily, but the moment any sort of level of recognition, because I would assume when you're walking through the town by yourself, you would cover yourself up, keep yourself concealed, because that's what you normally do. But the moment they realise who you are let through.
Thistle will walk up to y'all. Has he regained consciousness?
Not yet.
No, well, I think we bashed him in pretty good, so we probably need to sort of, poke him with some healing before we wake up.
Anyone got a bucket of cold water?
I don't think that will work for this one. If he was sleeping, it would work, but he's not sleeping.
So, how they go, Milk?
Unsuccessful.
It is what it is. There's always tomorrow.
The high priest in the story confirmed that their seal is not missing. And that there are only a few individuals who have access to his office.
This individual's crafty. The fact that they're able to get in there, and the fact that they're smart enough to put it back after they've used it, that's ingenious.
And I've spoken with the priestess of Kara. She had nothing to do with it.
I do not believe this is coming from within. did encourage High Priest in the story to double our efforts to remain vigilant and discover any subversives within the temple. He seemed reluctant, but understood.
But if this is the actual enemy, what is their game? Why would they lead us right towards ones that we're looking for?
That's a question. Yeah.
We were looking for a doomsayer of the Stag Lord, someone associated with Shusha and her message. This one is worshipping this Apec demon.
But it's the same message. From
Exactly.
what I'm thinking, the Stag Lord is outsourcing to Apep's followers.
I'm not certain of that. I believe my speculation in regards to Apep being an opportunist and them sharing the same goals is more likely. I doubt these two are working together.
What's that old saying? The enemy of my enemy is my friend. Even then, yes, and even then, it's a very tumultuous thing. Because once they're done with one another, who say they won't turn on each other.
I believe that's a quote from Scarlet Lance. Wifflepen goes sort of completely out of context.
Oh god. Wishful is such a great character.
But
So,
Fuck off. Sorry.
but I suppose we're only going to get our answers if we, I suppose, wake them up and see what they have to say.
Brody's gonna look over. Is he sitting in a chair, or is he like stuck on the bed?
He's in a cell, so he's been laid down on the bed in the cell.
Alright. Bird is going to. Go on ahead.
I'm just saying, as soon as it is in the cell, I would have like got the monocles off them.
Yeah, that's fine.
So, Bird looks to Alexandra and says, would you be interested in giving him just a tiny bit of healing so that we could, wake him up and start letting the interrogators have their way with him?
I was just about to suggest the same thing.
Are our
Great.
inquisitors ready?
We are ready.
Alright. Alexandra will walk into the cell and boop him with Ailey on hand.
You suddenly walk into the cell and realise that you have no magic.
Oh.
How many inquisitors do they have?
They have 2.
Right, Bird is gonna go into the cell with them.
I mean, the cell is open bar type thing, so you can just stand outside and look in.
Right. Alright. Milk Thistle, do you still have that rod of infernal healing?
I do.
I don't think it will work in here. My magic's cut off.
Oh, right.
I can do a normal heal, like a medical heal, to stay.
Yeah, that'll work.
That won't give him hit points, I'm afraid. They'll go, we'll have to remove him from the cell to bring him around. So
I'm just saying. I have a first aid kit. You might wake him up.
Yeah,
you would
apparently
need,
that won't work.
if he was unconscious from not from damage, then yes, that would work.
Alright.
Alright, let's drag him out of his cell, have a couple of hit points restored on him, and toss him back in.
Yeah, that is perfectly fine to basically be able to do.
Alright, so yeah.
So I mean, the downside of little anti-magic areas when you're trying to revive somebody.
Yeah.
Where is his stats? All right. So you bring him out momentarily. Okay, I need to go back to his original icon and check how much health he had. Who's doing the healing and what you're doing to heal him?
I do that solely on hooves.
Okay. I I put the monocles back in if we drag him out.
That's fine.
Okay.
I can accept that. 1 second, guys. I believe I put them. I have to go and find the map again because his main sheet does not have his current health on it. So I'm guessing it's only saved to his token, which is a little bit annoying.
Oof.
I mean, it makes sense because I put him as an NPC, but
Yeah.
Street map. I've just got to view scene, but I don't want to heal him too much, but not heal him enough if it mattered.
This
that.
music is so dang relaxing.
I'm just going to do something quickly because apparently it's not allowing me to view the tokens on the sheet. So
Okay.
I'm just reloading the application, but I think I did the wrong thing. Yeah, I did the wrong thing. You might get kicked. I apologise.
Yeah.
I just got kicked.
Yeah,
Same.
we'll try that again.
Alright, waiting for the...
I don't know when you better get back in.
yeah.
Quickly put up the technical difficulties one, so anyway, well, it's more of a very crude drawing of me holding a sign that's saying be back soon.
What you need is the elevator music playing for it as well. Just to make it all complete.
Oh, didn't even need to type in my password. Which is a bit odd. You should all be able to get back in.
Yep, I am waiting for the thing to let me start loading it.
Good, it's got tokens on. Right, so 14 hit points. So, oh no, I need a minus 14 for that, I believe. And then increase his health by that much. And that should make him conscious. Yes, he is conscious.
So once he's conscious, Bird is going to shove him back into the cell.
Yeah, I mean,
and let the interrogators... I keep calling them interrogators, inquisitors. What am I thinking? He's going to move aside for them.
yeah, there was no question you were going to just shove him straight back into the cell, to be honest. So there's no issues with you shoving him into the cell. I mean, the moment he sort of lands on his hoofs, and he sort of he's just sort of regained consciousness from healing and stuff, and sort of shoved into a cell. So it takes a moment to come back to his full awareness, so to speak. But once he does, and there's a momentary, he looks around, and he then just starts to laugh fairly loudly once he seems to be fully aware of where he is. After a few moments of him laughing manically to himself, he simply smiles in your direction, and he starts speaking directly to you guys, and goes, "Oh, you played your parts fantastically and did all the things you were supposed to do, just as we knew you would." Bravo.
So I take it you're the
Bravo. Couldn't have done it any better if we tried.
Next thing you're good. The next thing you're gonna say is you fell right into our fucking trap.
Oh no, I feel that's too cliche. You simply did that what was required of you. And you all played your parts fantastically.
Bird is gonna look to the Inquisitors and say, "Have at 'em, boys."
Milk Thistle has a parchment and pen in hand, or hoof, and he's going to be scribing the interrogation.
I mean, what sort of questions are you guys wanting to be answered here is the main thing. What are you looking
I
for
take
out
it
of information?
So I take it that your capture was part of your plan?
Oh, it was required, yes. Why else would you have been told exactly where to find me?
Who told you exactly where to find us? Or who told you... Who did you tell to come to us and tell us where to find you?
I do not know who it was. I just knew somebody would do what needed to be done. It does not matter.
Alright, so we walked into your whatever trap this is. What's the end goal?
He laughs. Oh, nothing of your concern.
Remember, this is an APEP cultist. The only real end goal for them is destruction, madness, and chaos.
I understand that, but I want to know what form it will take.
Oh,
Who are you working with?
hopefully it will be fire. Everything is more wonderful with fire.
Who are you working with?
I'm working with me, myself, and I.
What I mean is, who are your accomplices?
Me, myself, and I.
Burns' scarred eye, like, just twitches a bit. Okay. Why exactly is a pep working with Ashathon? Or do they just so happen to be having the same goals currently?
Oh, we're not working with. That's. We're just happily encouraging some destruction. As you can't have birth without. You can't make an omelette without breaking a few eggs, after all. And this whole pretty place just happens to be the eggs.
Is anyone else kicked out of Foundry? Oh, wait.
No.
Is it? Okay. Yeah, I
Yeah,
got
just loaded in for me.
Okay, I'm back in.
Okay.
Alright. Does anyone else want to pose some questions to this knucklehead?
Out of character. Bernd, is that really all you got? Come on.
I mean, I'm trying to come up with stuff. It's, my brain
Yeah.
isn't 100% in,
Well, start pressing him for why the distraction was needed.
Alright, so, why was this particular distraction to keep us occupied with you needed?
There was no distraction. The main event was you. You were centre stage.
He sort of stops a moment and is like, I'm sorry, what? I think I misheard you.
That was no.
Or, are you stuttering?
Do I need to speak a little bit slower for you? Or didn't realise you might have had brain damage?
You want us to cause panic in the city.
Well, partly. Partly, of course. Though, though we didn't need too much panic, and we just needed you to help sow the seeds, and you did exactly what you needed to. Stride in on your high horses, act like you all know better. You were the ones in charge. Everybody else is doing wrong, and you spoke the law and attacked somebody who was just merely speaking words and dragged them off to disappear in the back and beyond, never to be seen again.
Yeah, sure. Uh, a pet cultist at that who was telling other ponies, hey, either die or protect one person and give yourselves up to Ashathon and a pet. Am I correct?
Oh, you're far from the truth.
He sort of narrows his eyes at him. Your games are really starting to piss me off, boy.
Oh, I'm not trying hard enough if it's only starting to. But I do encourage that hatred. Let it boil over and fester inside of you. Give in to that rage.
He's gonna take a moment to calm himself, because he knows that he's starting to fall right into giving into his rage and whatnot, but he stops himself, takes a deep breath, and looks to Alexandrite. Feel free to have at him.
If we were your main targets, how long have you been keeping an interest in us?
Yeah. You were main targets at the moment. You just so happen to help the narrative. And we thought we'll take advantage of your little displays. It was very useful.
So, where are the other doomsayers? Or are you the only one?
I'm sure you already know there's plenty of us around, but I'm the only one who you're going to find. And that's because I wanted you to find me.
So, Burned, once I get his sheet open, I'm not used to this new mouse pad yet. He is going to, assuming the Inquisitors will allow him to enter.
I mean, there's no stopping you if you do want to enter in. I won't.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you're a demigod, like...
Yeah. I mean, the Inquisitors are there mostly to ensure that help with various things. I mean, you're probably skipping a little bit of, like, some of the rubbish you get from interrogations with the Inquisitors' help, basically.
So, I don't know what I'm going to do for the intimidation, but I'm going to try getting him to spill where the other doomsayers are.
Okay.
And so, do you want this to be a private thing,
No.
like rule?
No, you can make it public, but give me an idea what you want to do with the intimidation.
He is going to... He's going to let out a really, not so much pissed off, but a threatening snarl, and he's going to pound his hoof right directly against the side of the wall next to his right ear. and he's going to tell him, or he's going to say, "Tell me what I want to know, what we want to know. Otherwise, the next time I do this, it'll be your face." Oh god, that was a bad roll.
I was gonna say it was almost a nat one.
No, if it was a nat 1, it would have been, like,
It was a 7.
laughable.
Yeah, but I saw the dice like just go 1, then turn to the 7.
Oh, okay. I think we see slightly different rolls when it comes in.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know what you mean, what it can sometimes look like. He goes, "Ooh, that anger again," and I can see the fear, afraid that you won't get your answers. But where the others are, they're in the city, but you already know that. But there might be some elsewhere. Who knows? I don't know where anyone else is. I just know where I am, and that's stood right here in front of you.
Bird is gonna take a step back. And he's gonna quietly, well, kind of hard when you're wearing thunky armor. He's gonna leave the cell, and he's gonna look to the others. If you have any insightful questions,
All right.
time to ask.
I'm going to give you guys a few moments to speak amongst yourselves. I'm be back in just about 5 minutes, but you guys can have a little bit of planning with each other.
All
So I'll
right.
be back in a moment.
Okay.
That was not going where I thought it would.
Yeah. The problem is, like, this guy's clearly crazy, first of all, and I don't think that they're an organized group other than, worshiping the same god. So they might be just taking orders from him and doing whatever.
On the contrary, his methods are very methodical. He's deliberately being frustrating to get you angry and get an emotional response from you. You need nerves of steel if you're going to be dealing with this one.
Which is not me.
You're not going to be intimidating this one very easily, I can guarantee you. It would probably welcome the pain that would be brought to it.
Mm-hmm.
We need to do something that will register on a more psychological level.
The first thing that comes to my mind is putting his face in the chamber pot.
Yeah, I was gonna say, well, Milk, you're probably the best one among us for the psychological stuff.
Yeah.
Unless he starts talking shit about the nightmare.
Oh no, he is well past, let's try to be nice to this guy. He's past that point in the story.
Alright, I'm back.
Welcome back. Yeah, Milk Thistle, I do think you're better suited to handling the psychological warfare aspects.
If you believe this is the best course of action, I will step up.
I do believe it. I believe in you.
I'm not a fan of the methods, but I do agree that you would probably be best for this situation.
I mean, unless you want him to be, like, horribly turned into pulp, to where he would have to be carried home in several buckets.
Wishful Pig goes, I don't think we'll get many answers out of him if he's in buckets.
Alexander is actually gonna detect evil on this guy again. Because when he was in the crowd, we didn't pick up anything.
You are quite correct. I need to double check something again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. And he was carrying a chaos weapon. So yeah, Bird is gonna also use, if I can find it, where's it? Here it is. He's gonna use Detect Chaos as well on him.
Nope, you both still do not detect anything.
So yeah, that might be a question worth asking: is how he's protecting himself from our views.
Yeah.
Because clearly this guy is either chaotic or evil.
Wishful Pen go. Apep followers are both. Normally, I mean, you can get varies.
APEP does what?
Apep is chaotic evil.
Yeah, so his followers would probably be the same. But we're not registering either.
Wishful goes, there is spells what stop you seeing things like that.
Yes, but it should have ended as soon as he reached the anti-spells field.
Oh, yes, sorry, I completely forgot that. My brain for a moment there.
But he would
It's
still
okay.
he would still need to be drug out to cast those unless they're supernatural effects.
Yeah, are your detection stuff spells or are they supernatural?
I believe they're supernatural for us.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yes, you would detect chaos and evil on him now. I derped there. Don't mind me.
You're fine. It's okay. It's been a busy day for all of us.
So Alexander, I will actually ask. So did you cast those alignment blocking spells on yourself, or did you have someone else do it for you?
Finally worked it out, have you? Oh, that's one mystery solved by you guys.
Alright, Milk Thistle. Do your thing.
Very well. Milk Thistle will go over to one of the Inquisitors and he will request a fresh loaf of bread, butter, and good wine.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't have any of that to hand, but it won't take too long for it to show up. I mean, you'll probably be told it's okay wine rather than good wine.
It'll do. And Milk Thistle would have a table and another chair for himself. He'll go into the cell, let it get locked behind him, and he'll set the table. I don't know if you had breakfast this morning, but perhaps you're hungry and thirsty. Please, eat.
I see what we're doing now. A whole good side of things. He has a look at you and goes, "Wasn't expecting it from you, Mr. Scary Pants. All want to bring about fear and I saw what you did on the battlefield."
Don't read too much into it. It's just an offering. And you needn't worry about it being poisoned. And Milk Thistle will...
He goes, "Oh, no, you want me to answer questions, so you wouldn't want to kill me now, would you?"
Milk Thistle won't respond, but he'll butter the bread, pour himself a glass of wine, start eating.
I mean, he won't... he will happily help himself as well. He not like woofs it down like he's starving, but, just kind of has something. So, when does your torture begin? Oh, I do look forward to the torture. It's been rather boring so far.
How long have you been a resident of Villagertown?
Long enough.
I must say, I find your methods counterproductive. Some might consider them frustrating, but I'd say they're effective in a way.
Effective.
You must have been trained.
Oh, I received my insight from the one place it needs to come.
I am a fae of religious inclination, but I must admit I'm not as well read on this Apep demon of yours.
Ooh.
Would you tell me about him?
Do you fancy walking through fire and ash and be enlightened?
Not necessarily, but I do believe in having our strength and determination tested daily and overcoming those challenges.
Well, I'm more than happy to help test you if you want, though we would have to leave. But if you want to know more about APEP, I'm sure if you open your mind to a little bit of madness, I already sense you have a little bit of evil in your heart. See your pathway there.
How do you sense that?
It radiates off you as a fellow cleric of an evil deity. It is but natural.
Milk will take a one.
Plus, I've known a little bit about you since your return and being a little bit more special. Shame they don't give you a dimmer. Must make it hard to sleep at night.
Sleep is usually not very restful, but even while you dream, you can be tested. Keeps the mind sharp and strengthened. What kind of dreams do you have?
Fire, ash, smoke, destruction. All the good things.
Apart from destruction, is there any growth or rebuilding that happens from this?
That doesn't matter. It will come. But the destruction has to come first. Can't have everything regrow until there's destruction. The Pony Empire almost did it, but it seems to be hanging on, and it just needs those final threads finally cut for them to just topple over and something else to come in its wake. This is just, hopefully, the thing to finally help break those last threads.
Have you been working toward those ends for many decades now? Or is this a new endeavor for you?
This is an additional endeavour. There was something else, but that didn't work out.
I am interested in your history.
Oh. Let's just say the previous work was a little bit more two-legged.
It must be frustrating to witness your efforts of destruction end peacefully, despite your best efforts.
It was disappointing. But there's always more to be had. It's just a matter of seeing the things, just seeing the flames, and it doesn't take too much to stir them back to life. This is a time where the embers are still smoking, and there's plenty of opportunities to stir it into a roaring fire.
That's true. But this roaring fire you're creating, it could very easily be turned into a forge. And the heat can be used to burn away the impurities to make something stronger.
Oh, looks like we're on the same page. But we don't care what comes about next. We just ensure it happens.
But to what end?
Well, can't all be going along being all the same, and there's got to be some change occasionally, and that makes... We just ensure it comes about in a more explosive manner. There's nothing like a little bit of chaos and pain at the end.
Pain, I agree with.
Can't
Okay,
let...
not so much. There should be order to the world. And even though you act in a chaotic manner yourself, you're still fulfilling a purpose that was set out to you. So in a way, you're acting with intent.
I have a purpose, if that's what you are asking. I wish to accomplish something. And I will thank you. You helped stir that mission a little bit further.
Is this a self-serving ambition, or do you have someone you work for?
Well, I'm sure we work for similar individuals. If we were asked that question directly, you work for your deity, I work for mine.
Your deity is not part of the pantheon, is he?
Well, not of your pantheon, and I don't need to follow someone who shares the limelight with others. I mean, does that not mean your deity is just not strong enough to stand on their own?
There is an understanding between the powers that be.
Oh yes, that lawfulness of abiding by those things. How uninteresting.
But surely you can see there is a strength to it. After all, for a time, there was a great deal of strength in these lands.
Yes, for a time, but now look at it. Just about holding on, trying to repair the threads that once were, as they slowly ping apart one by one. And you're just holding on to a lost dream, and that's just won't let it die. That is all.
Apart from this demon Apep, do you happen to be aware of other destructive forces that are trying to attempt similar goals to yours?
If there are similar enough, then they will deem our interests, and we might push them in the right direction to help the destruction, if they require pushing in the right direction.
But have you encountered them yet?
There's no need to encounter them. Generally speaking, encounter them normally means the destruction's here and on their way. And that means everything is complete.
I'm going to roll sense motive on what he said. Is he attempting to conceal the fact that they have met with the other Doomsayers?
You... he doesn't seem to... He's not concealing that, as far as you can tell. You don't think he's... At least what he's speaking with truth. That much you are definitely certain of. You get no sense of any deception currently going on. you tend to find that anytime he doesn't want to ask anything, he tends to deflect you away, more than giving you lies. At least that's what you've sort of gleaned so far. He answered that question truthfully, but he might have answered it thinking of something different to what you're thinking.
Okay. Milk Thistle takes another bite of bread. This destruction and rebirth you're attempting to bring about, was the desert not enough for you?
Oh, that was just one thing, and that was a while ago. And that did its job, and something new came about, and we've spread our hooves and run around and done our thing, and now it's time for the next new thing. I mean, it clearly was meant to be the humans, but well, they're taking their sweet time about it, and but this might speed it up a little.
Please forgive me, I'm so rude. I have not inquired your name.
You can call me Fool.
Fall?
Yes. But if you want my full title, that is Full Destruction.
Full.
Willful destruction. I'm Milk Thistle.
Yes, we have heard of you. You, since your more recent arrival, I think most have learnt of yourselves. I believe most of you were knighted. How wonderful for you, in a very big and public display.
Out of character, GM, how long ago was the knighting ceremony in game time?
I can't remember the exact date, but it happened soon after you guys came about with the peace with the humans. So I want to say maybe I want to say about a month, but it might not have been that long ago. It's within the last month anyway.
Okay. Yeah, out of character, I'm building a time frame for how long this guy's been watching this.
Yeah,
So,
I guessed as much.
Yeah, I hope the party's paying attention.
Yeah, I'm just really quiet because you can't see it, but I'm squinting at this guy.
I'm trying to think what I can ask this guy.
Yeah, I'm mostly just letting you do your thing because, you're getting things out of him.
Yeah, you're doing better than I did. I'll say that much.
I mean, he just loved antagonising you because it was clearly working.
Yeah. Man, that's what I get better myself on.
Milk Thistle will open the map of Everglow. He won't lay it down in front of the guy. He'll be looking it over. Full destruction. You say your first targets were the humans. He looks up from the map and makes eye contact with them. Did you happen to convince them to come here?
I didn't convince him of anything.
Well, you're an agent of APAP, so perhaps APAP pulled his strings to pull him here.
Maybe he did.
But did he?
I don't know. You tell me. Did I do it?
I don't believe so. At least not on your own.
Oh, well, there you go then. No, I was here for other reasons. I was here to make sure that when they got through those little gates of yours, that they definitely destroyed the place, and there wasn't going to be any wonderful, nice little jump through the streets, peace between us. But they just needed to get through the gates in a less peaceful manner.
Well, I hope you can forgive us for having a strong interest in self-preservation. Escorting them in must have felt like an absolute failure.
It was a setback. But now there's something new on the horizon. And it will hopefully be far more fun.
But still, it must be infuriating to see all of your preparation and hard work come to nothing when mere diplomacy is all it took to find a peaceful resolution.
Things just moved in the way they did. Was very... It was one of those things, yes. But that is the past, and, well, that was destroyed, so in a sense, though that destruction brought about a new path to come, a new thing to strive towards. So do not worry about that and strive towards the new thing. The new destruction.
If Apep wishes the destruction of the humans,
Oh.
I do not believe the Fae of Everglow would
Oh,
disheartened.
poor you. You think we want to destroy the humans. The humans are new. They're the next thing. We're the old thing. The destruction's coming to us. There just will be what will potentially replace. Just like we were the new thing, and the cats were the old ones, and they were destroyed, and then we were new and exciting. But now we're old. We're going. They will probably be what will be around afterwards.
I'm just typing a quick note. This is out of character. But this would be the equivalent of a mental note to note this. All right. Out of character, so he just revealed that Apep is wanting to destroy established power and authority. First with the cats in the desert. Apparently, something happening around the destruction of Queen Iliana nearly destroyed the Fae kingdoms in Everglow, but not completely. We turned into city-states and basically preserved what was left.
Yeah.
And now Apep is trying to move to finish what he started, and apparently the humans are supposed to be the ones moving in to finish off. And then eventually it'll be their turn. It's just a cycle going over and over.
Yeah, you've got the general sense of basically all of his plans.
Yeah, Apex is kind of the Windows update.
Yes. Yeah. Eventually, there has to be a cutoff point.
It's always Windows Vista. God damn it.
God bless America.
So so in contrast, is he does want us to go to war or with the humans.
I mean, that was their original idea.
Yeah, whatever brings about the destruction of all ponies, that is just the end goal. Doesn't matter really what.
Yeah.
Even more reason to do this in a politics way.
Milkfistle or go ahead, Melvin.
Go ahead, sorry.
Milkfistle will take another sip of wine. I'll study a little bit of history of Everglow. Did Apep bring the elves here many years ago?
Elves? No. They were...
Yeah.
Oh. They were... I don't know. They were here, I suppose. I don't worry about the old. That's been and gone. It's not important. all what matters is the next destruction. No point looking back. When you start looking back, you start getting all what's the word?
Nostalgic.
You get all nostalgic, and then you want to hold on to things. No, just throw it in the fire. Watch it burn. Get rid of it all. You don't need to be nostalgic. Just move on. Stop
Do you have
hanging.
a family?
Do you?
I do.
Well, then it
Not
will just
a-
burn at some point. It will go.
Milk Thistle will casually raise a hoof, gesturing to not interfere.
Oh, but he's so fun to tease. Watch his
understand.
rage boil to the top. Watch
Let's
him
you and I
blow.
let's you and I focus on each other full destruction.
I will place my hoof on burnt and don't and whisper don't let him get to you. That's what he wants.
He'll give it a nod.
Please don't hesitate to enjoy your wine full destruction. It's starting to get room temperature.
Oh, I know.
Does Apep seek to control the course of events? Or does he merely like to watch things burn and unfold as they will?
All you about control and no. It's all about just letting it crumble as it will. Watch it move chaotically and just burn as it will. Don't need to control those things. Once that final stone's been pulled, it will just tumble. That's all it requires. Doesn't need control, it will just off it goes. You just got to find the right place to just keep nicking at.
But as with natural things, life eventually returns, grows back, gains strength, withers and dies.
Oh yes. We are just that end point where it withers and dies. Sometimes things will just happen on their own. Others need more of a help.
May I ask you a personal question, full destruction?
Maybe.
You seek to bring about the destruction of Everglow so that the humans may come into their authority, so eventually they can be destroyed, correct?
Yes. Well, at least if they are the ones that grow next. I mean, they might not. Something else might come along and squash them before they even have a chance to bloom. But they will burn at some point.
How would you feel if by seeking this destruction, you would enable another creature to bring about the absolute destruction of everything, so that there could be no regrowth? You would no longer be able to subvert, destroy, tear down. Your purpose would end. Would that be of concern to you? Maybe not to you personally, but within a generation. If you and your fellow followers of Apep had no purpose left, what would there be left for you?
Oh, is that what you think's going to happen? Is that why you're so scared?
I fear the nightmare and nothing else.
Ah, you fear her, do you? Tremble between your little hooves tremble when you see her. Is that because you don't want to fail her, or is that just because you are scared in front of such a strong being.
It is because I honor her.
Ah, she wants you scared. I see.
But you didn't answer my question. If everything were to truly be brought to full destruction as your namesake, to where nothing would regrow, to where nothing would regain power, everything would be completely gone, what would the purpose of APEP be?
Well, he would have lost it, obviously. But that's not going to happen. There's always something that comes along. It might rise out of the ocean. It may come from the mountains or the underground. There's always something what comes. Just like if a forest fire goes all through a set of forest, there's lots of devastating, but life will return no matter how bad the devastation is.
Unfortunately, there are forces at work that would make that impossible.
And we're back to you thinking that that's going to be happening. You're more clueless than I really thought you were.
Perhaps we're misunderstanding each other, because I'm thinking the same thing of you.
Oh, so you just see the whole destruction of Everglow is just us being wiped out, and you're worried, and you think we are everything to you. That's very shallow of you. But I can understand. Got to have some shallowness to yourself. Got to think about your own intent and your own personal being.
How is it you came across the message that's being spread throughout Villager Town? Were you there when the messengers arrived and simply listened in, or are you hearing it from the rumors of the citizens themselves?
Oh no. It came through the flames. They were what came when told me once other things had fallen through.
What message did you hear from the flames?
Well, I don't share my message. I'm sure you don't share your personal messages with... He looks around at everybody else. Those that stand around here. I think you would say that is be disrespectful to your deity, do you not?
There are certain things that must be kept hidden.
Well, there we go.
But if you wish to bring about the destruction and subvert the willingness of unity throughout Everglow, then obviously your message must be shared.
Oh, that's being done right this moment.
Yes, we're aware.
So, it's all good. I don't need to say anything more. And you helped spread that message today. You turned up. You struck down a poor, innocent, old person who was merely helping those that were less fortunate and was merely giving them warnings of what might come and a possible solution on how they can deal with it when it comes, rather than hoping that somebody else would fix their problem for them. At least they have a solution should the worst happen.
But is this the message of Apep himself?
No, don't be silly. You do you not know Apep? He wants destruction. We're just merely aiding that destruction. If we have to spread somebody else's message to help that destruction, then so be it. We don't have to be that picky.
At that, Milk Thistle will stand up and order the table and the food be taken away.
Yeah, it will be removed.
And Milk Thistle will walk out of the cell, have the door closed behind him, and walk over to the party and the Inquisitors who are there. Inquisitors, I request that he not be harmed, but do not let him rest. Do not let him sleep. Give him only enough food and water to live. Do not let him have a moment of comfort while he is here. In 10 days, put him to the question. Get every ounce of information you can crush out of him, and dispose of him.
That would not be possible.
Why?
He is under the law, and will have to undergo some more. Oh, I'm trying to think of the word. Processes before he can be crushed, but I'm sure his light will be snuffed.
Very well.
Others have been brought into the light, so those processes must be followed for the laws to be obeyed.
Are these the laws of the temple or the laws of Velgetown?
These are the laws of Vilgertown. And those laws that every pony must follow, even the ones that some may disagree with.
Then we will need to bring these revelations to the council.
Seems so.
But I believe we are done here.
Alex, do you have anything to disagree with what he just said in regards to what Milk Thistle has asked to be done?
Yeah, I'm.
Because I mean, in not so many words, he's basically said, torture this person, then crush him.
Yeah.
I mean, your paladin senses will probably be tingling.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's like protected by the law, so he should be fine.
Yeah. I mean, that's why the Inquisitors chose the words carefully.
It's alright. But yeah.
So yeah, Alexandrite's gonna say we shouldn't stoop to his level.
That's exactly what he wants. And do not come back from the cell.
Yeah.
I think we should do the opposite. We should let this pony be seen.
What? Bert just sort of like, it's that very delayed, what? As he, looks to Alexandrite. So, what are you suggesting then?
Well, we have friends who can change their looks. And if this pony is being attacked by us and hauled away to die, give panic to the people, I think we should let the people see that he is all right.
This is true. The only issue with this is that he's gonna keep spreading his babble all over the city.
Ah, no, he will not. Alexander will say with a bit of a smile. Wink.
Bert just sort of, he blinks and he goes, "You visited the Kara Temple again, didn't you?"
Well, I don't need to visit the Kara Temple to have access to a change or a doppelganger.
This is true.
I think he was more indicating that you're more thinking like a Kara worshipper now.
That too.
Wishful pin gives. See, that's what I mean. Or what I think he thought. I mean, it is sneaky.
Look, either way, we need to come to a consensus about this and bring this up to the council. I'm sure they'll have some words that they wish to say.
Agreed.
Actually, Alexandrite, I do like your suggestion. If we keep this one hidden away and convince the population that he is safe and unharmed while carrying a different message, one that suits our needs, then we can turn the people back to our way of thinking.
Yes, but I don't think that it should be quite as obvious.
Yeah.
If we
yeah,
push
that's
it
what
too
I was-
hard, it would seem suspicious.
Yeah, that was what I was thinking. And I'm putting him in as a as summon be nice to the demon, and all of a sudden he's like on our side. All of a sudden that would seem very suspicious indeed.
Perhaps a watered down version. Something to not raise as much rabble, but make it so that they do not think that we've mind controlled him or somehow.
Do you mean like a cuckoo? Wishful goes.
Yes.
We should still carry a stronger, more prominent message than the one that's being spread by the Doomsayers and now by this APEP. We have confirmed that APEP is working independently of the Stag Lord. It's as I suspected, he's nothing more than an opportunist sending his followers here to bring about the destruction.
Not to mention the other cities that they're probably in right now. And we can't hunt all of them down in one day.
I mean, I think I know what Alex means. Like, send a pony back disguised as him and get him to spread a different message.
Exactly.
Yeah, I kind of caught on to that myself, but Bird sort of shakes his head a moment. It could work if we play our cards right.
We need to know somebody. We need to get somebody who's really good at doing that.
I can speak with lightning.
No, but I mean, isn't she with a foal? Wouldn't that be a bit dangerous?
It's true.
So,
We could go to Kara's temple.
if anyone needs to make this deal, you're already in one as it is, Alexandrite. And if you back out of your deal, that's gonna be even more of a bad sign. So one of us will have to make the deal.
I would
I would
recommend we wait for High Priest Midnight Vision to awaken. He is the wisest of us all, and he would know the best course of action. And he would most definitely advise to use this pony full destruction rather than killing him outright. I misspoke.
this is true.
I do believe it's prudent that more power and authority be given to the temple. We need to be able to act against these doomsayers and now these followers of Apep. If we have to rely strictly on the city alone to be an enforcement of the law, we may not be able to act quickly enough. All this dissension must be snuffed immediately before it grows into a fire outside our control.
Agreed.
And
So if we act too rash, then we will just create a civil war with the city and the temple, and that could also lead to our destruction.
Yeah.
yeah,
Which is why we must continue to push for unification. Pardon me. The temple's authority must not be seen apart from the authority of the city. It must be seen as part of the city's authority. But none of this will be done without the council's approval.
Yeah,
So we're back to going to the council.
Yes.
Yes.
looks like it.
Very well then. We need to wait for Midnight Vision to wake up anyway. Let's set up a meeting with the council. Let them know what's going on.
I can approach Crystal Hard easily enough. Do you believe, he looks at Alexandra, do you believe you could speak to Duchess Lilypad?
I believe so.
Can you convince her to permit this authority?
It may be a challenge, but I can give it a go.
What is it that you wish of Middle Banana and I to do?
Out of character, who's the middle ground, the third counselor, who's
Lord Skystriker.
Lord Skystriker? I would recommend the two of you go to Lord Skystriker. He will likely be the most difficult to convince. When you approach him, tell him it is in the best interest for the protection of the citizens and the unification of Everglow. If you can convince him of that, I believe he would be willing to permit authority to the temple.
Roger. It would seem that we have encountered a perilous slope here. That if we don't take it cautiously enough, could snowball into an even worse situation.
Stout Mountain is the counselor from Galloping Den, correct?
Yes. He technically has no authority here. Even though in the last meeting you were in, he acted like he did. Technically, he's speaking all his votes or his comments basically didn't really mean anything in the meeting. He was there just as a guest, like what you guys were, but he acted like he had a say in anything.
If Stout Mountain, as the representative of Galloping Dam, were to submit to the authority of the Council of Viljetown and be made a full member of the council, that would be the first step in reunification. We've already set into motion reunifying with Clovenham. But if word can be sent to Clovenham that Galloping Dam has already unified with Viljetown to grow the kingdom back to its full strength, that would give weight to help the Council of Clovenham to rejoin us as well.
Well, they actually, if you remember in the last meeting, they did speak about like a separate council being set up and a individual from each place being on the council to represent the whole of Everglow, basically. But they didn't have any representative yet to put forward from Viljetown, as there was there's only 3 council members and there's 2 vacant seats, and they want to get the other 2 seats filled first before they bring about that council. At the moment, because there's obviously a lot of like internal power pushing. So that's where I think it was kind of left, but there was plans to put something like that in place.
Yeah, Sky Striker opted not to vote between Duchess and Crystal Heart.
Yeah.
He would have been the tiebreaker, but he didn't go forward to vote.
No. He obviously doesn't know. Obviously, he doesn't know who to put his vote towards. Basically, is what it seems like.
Great.
If we set things in motion with the council to fill those empty seats, then a representative of Velja Town can be selected, and that can start the growth of Everglow overall.
We could suggest someone from the temple, which would give more power to them, and do what we were thinking of doing anyway.
Wishful Pain kind of goes, I believe Endless Story technically does have a council seat, but I think it's more of a like a honorary rather than an actual proper. I mean, if matters of religion come up, then obviously then he's called in to obviously indicate his part and stuff. But I don't think they officially have any power or sway. Well, maybe vote is probably a better word.
Well, then we should see about making it actually have sway.
Agreed.
Well, I mean, there was always an odd separation of religion and state.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how. I mean, the Queen kind of was seen as like the embodiment of like Sun Queen and stuff, but there was always a sort of she obviously helped build the temple and stuff, but but she obviously did keep a separation from it.
I believe that should end. I do believe High Priest Endless Story would be a fair, unbiased representative of the temple. And I forget, is Endless Story male or female?
He's male.
If Endless Story is given a council seat, then that would leave a fifth representative seat open. I believe we should propose to the council that a member of a member of St. Moon's Reach be placed on the council of Villager Town, under the stipulation that the military of St. Moon's Reach is under the authority of Villager Town. We will need a military to grow stronger and enforce our will on this land if we're to reunify and regrow it. We will need St. Moon's Reach strength and power to do so.
I think the Duchess could agree with that.
And I've no doubt that Crystal Heart would as well.
Very well then. We have our game plan. We should head off.
Yes.
Little Banana, given what you've told me in regards to your thoughts on religion, what do you believe of our proposal?
If
Alexander will raise an eyebrow.
if it avoids the city going going into chaos, I'll help.
If all of us stand together and speak as one on this endeavor, we will likely sway the council. Everglow will grow stronger from this. Are we all in agreement?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Wishful Pen, what say you?
Well, I mean, I mean, there probably need to be some study and research put into what might happen and stuff with this, but it might work. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how everyone will think. I mean, as long as everybody's all friends, then it's all good.
Milfissa will nod his head.
But I mean, I obviously everyone has their own heads in the temples, and there's heads in the council. I just feel like we're changing crowns.
That is correct. Many things are going to change.
Change is not always bad.
I suppose.
As much as I disagree with the methods and such of full destruction, he has some points. There's always going to be change.
It comes about naturally, reoccurring. We'll learn from it, grow from it.
Even though we cannot control the flow of water, we can change what direction it flows in.
Change for the worst or good. Let's make sure it turns out for the good.
All we can do is hope. Who knows what will happen in 2,000 years or so?
We would be long gone before then.
Well, I suppose that's for the historians to write about. So
You
when,
could be that historian, Wishful Pin.
sorry?
You could be that historian.
Well, I am writing down what's going on already, other than what we don't want people to know. Though I normally write those down and then have to take the pages out.
Well, maybe if this is all over, you'll be able to write down the full truth.
Well, I mean, I keep the pages. I don't throw them away. I just don't include them in the book.
Still, Wishful Pin, once this is all done and over with, you'll be perfectly fine to put out the full story on what happened and the events leading up to it.
It'll be my
It's
first.
been a day.
It'll be my first published book.
It will be the best published book.
Well, I'm not sure I'll be that good, but I hope so. Alright, so it sounds like we've got two people going to find Lord Skystraker and one person for Crystal Heart, one person for the Duchess.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Who wants to go first for their meetings?
I am writing notes, so I should go either second or last.
Okay.
Does Burn and Metal Banana want to go as they've not had too much chance in the spotlight?
What do you think, Evie? I'm not entirely good with politics, but I can try my best. I can't say, or I can't promise I won't say the wrong thing at one point.
What we have to do again? I forgot.
We have to basically convince Lord Skystriker to, me and my goldfish memory.
Okay, I'm writing these notes down right now. Suggestion, if Alexandrite wants to do his RP first, I'll have these notes written by the time it's y'all's turn.
Yeah.
Alright.
Fair enough. Alright, Alex, yes. I mean, we're going to glaze over a little bit of you running around looking for the Duchess.
Yeah.
Once...
Well, we've done this song and dance so many times. I mean, Alexandrite probably has like a passcode, just be like...
Yeah, I mean, it's a matter of you go and you need to see the Duchess. You get through the gate, and it would be... You find the right person who can tell you where she is, or can send a messenger to go and get her, and you stay there waiting. It would be something like that.
Yeah.
But eventually, basically, you will probably be in her home. um, and um, and she will she'll basically come in and offer you a drink. Basically, going, do you want something? Do you want something to drink, Alexandrite? Something a little bit better than you would normally get from outside.
Thank you. That actually would be nice. From the news that we've learned, was definitely needed.
Well, I was told it was important. She'll probably
Yes.
put down a glass of wine. Because it strikes me she's more of a wine person than a spirits person.
Mm-hmm. Alexandrite will take a sip of the wine, nursing it a bit.
Trying to act cultured.
Mm-hmm.
Robbie, professional
I-
wine taster. Joking.
Yeah.
So, what is this important news that possibly can't wait?
Well, we've found a worshipper of Apep in the city.
APEP.
Yes.
I vaguely remember that, and it's something to be. I'm sure it's something to be concerned about. Please refresh my mind.
This is the god of destruction that wiped out the cat race.
Ah, yes.
Yes, his followers have been leading us on a bit of a chase, trying to sow deceit, bring about the destruction of honeykind.
And you've dealt with these followers of APEP, I'm assuming?
Yes, but we fear that the goal is still going on, and we wish to help bring about words. Help bring about any or help stop any dissent.
And what is it you need from me to accomplish that?
We need a full member. We need the council to be full. First of all, we need everyone to be unified, and to do that, we need this council to get up and going again. Me and my party have two suggestions for the other two seats of the council that we've agreed on.
Oh? And what are your suggestions?
And the story, for one. We understand that he has a unofficial role in the council.
Yes, he is called upon when matters of the Pantheon are involved, or need his guidance on matters that may be of a religious nature.
Yes. We wish to have him be a full member of the council. We're dealing with a lot of divine entities. So someone who would know the dangers of such things would be extremely useful.
Well, he can easily be summoned and still keep his honorary role. He's too much of an unknown factor to just bring on, and too not predictable on where he may lean towards things. And what is your other idea?
Someone from St. Moon's Reach.
They're not citizens of Vilgertown, so they cannot hold a council position.
But they could be made to be a citizen, can't they?
I suppose. I mean, it's not too difficult.
You wanted sway over what I forget the character's name now. The son of Thunderhooves.
You mean? I was going to say Swift Victory.
Yeah, I think that you wanted the child of Swift Victory on your side anyway.
Well, yes. Oh, if he can be convinced, then yes, he would make a good ally to have on the council. That'll be interesting. It will be stepping on Crystal Heart's hooves a lot, given that he is a very much a military individual, and I mean, I suppose I don't. Crystal Heart at least followed in his his grandfather's footsteps in regards to keeping the town guard financed and what have you. But with an actual military individual with military experience, it would only be sensible that he take a more prominent role in the matter. Though Crystal Heart's family line was military anyway. He's not had any proper military experience though, but the rest of his family have. It could be an interesting one. It might weaken his position to a degree. That one I can at least get my hoofs behind. I would have to have a word with him. I'm sure I can arrange a meeting later today and get his feel of the idea. It might work. Now, I was thinking of trying to get his father out of the picture so he could actually control the whole of St. Moon's Reach, but maybe splitting their forces and maybe more sensible. Though we'll have to look into matters, because that I was hoping he might have a seat when we put together this United Council of Everglow, and I would have an ally on that. But an ally on this council may at least ensure that the right person goes on this other United Council at least.
It is a step in the right direction. The rest of my party are heading towards the other council members to try to convince them of the same thing.
Well, if they hopefully, I don't know. I suppose it depends on how Crystal Heart sees the matter of Swift Victory's son. Do the others know it's Swift Victory's son you had in mind from St. Moon's Reach, or was they just indicating of someone from St. Moon's Reach?
They were indicating of someone.
So, okay, they might support it if I bring up the candidate, because Swift Victory's, I believe, too old for such a position, and he seems to be too military. I don't think he would want to step down from his St. Moon's Reach position anyway. But we shall see. Though I'm not sure about Endless Story. Perhaps
Is there someone else that you would suggest? Someone from the temple?
The only other individual you'll be able to get any leverage behind from at least enough of the other religious heads would be the follower of the Sun Queen, the High Priest of the Sun Queen, for obvious reasons of the Sun Queen being the head of the Pantheon.
Would you have any issues with that?
I do not believe so, but I have not had too many personal dealings with them, I will be honest. though I do know of them and who they are.
Well, perhaps that should change.
We will see on matters. But you've at least brought one possibility as a strong candidate, anyway. I mean, as long as you can, if you can speak to Endless Story and pull his ear in my direction, that would at least be an advantage, anyway. I feel it would be better coming from someone such as yourself, Alexandrite, an upstanding member of Vilja Town and champion and what have you.
Very well. Should I set up a meeting?
I would leave that at your discretion to do what you wish to do with Endless Story on how you want to approach that. I trust your judgment.
Very well. I will go to them after this meeting is done.
If he doesn't seem too malleable, I would then see about speaking with the head of the Sun Queen Temple. See if there's a strong ally there.
Very well. They at least are easy to find at the same place. So.
Was that all the... That was at least one of the matters, and you feel what was needed, but you have said very little on this APEP follower. You obviously were pushing for a united council for what reason in regards to this APEP follower?
APEP wishes to sow dissent and bring about destructions.
And
He was partly responsible for the humans coming so far. Yeah, wishing to bring about our destruction. If we did not if we did not negotiate peace, he would have gotten his wish. But other than that, we wish to bring more authority to the temple.
more, and that's why you want a member of the temple and the council.
Yes. We cannot snuff out these followers of APEP with the power of the temple, as is.
And what power does the temple need that a voice on the council will be able to achieve?
Trying to be like, okay, we don't want to be like, we need to kill people because I'm like, oh yeah, I'm a paladin, so we need to be able to detain certain people.
And what certain people are these? The APEP followers?
And other doomsayers.
I mean, followers of APEP, as far as I'm aware, worship of APEP is illegal anyway. It comes under demon worship and devil worship. So you can already round them up. I mean, obviously you can't just go accusing random individuals of worshipping demons. You need to have proof. If not, then that would just cause all sorts of issues.
Yes, but find that the one that we captured was happenstance that we found proof on him. They use our laws against us.
And which and what exactly you want to change the law to, or you think bringing in a member of the All Seasons Temple will help to change.
Bringing in the authority of the temple, giving them a little bit more power so they can actually help root out the people without going to you would be a big help towards the end goal.
Okay, and what power do they require? What do they need to be able to root out evil? Because I'm not about giving people at the temple free reign to go and accuse everybody of heresy and burning them at the stake. Because I'm sure there will be a few individuals who might go exactly that way.
Yes, I understand the concerns there. Sorry, out of character, I'm just like also just kind of fumbling here.
Okay, so out of character, what Milk Thistle had proposed is that the temple be given, let's see, let's try to word it this way, be given judicial authority to seek out and, I guess detain would be the best way to phrase it, to seek out and detain the dissidents who are trying to either bring about the destruction of Everglow or to undermine the how would this be worded?
Yeah, that's kind of the thing.
Undermine the unification of Everglow?
Yeah.
Would that be the way to put it?
I guess that could be a way to put it.
Because while they do have the equivalent of freedom of speech, you know, to talk about their gods and whatnot, it's undermining the goals of reunification within Everglow to bring about its destruction.
Mm-hmm.
So the temple needs to have the authority to put a stop to that.
Yeah. So, yeah, Alexandrite would say the ability to perhaps search and detain individuals of suspicion for a start.
Suspicion of what?
Of being a worshiper of Apep, undermining our current gods and the unification of Everglow.
I feel you have noble reasons here, but granting the temple the authority of the city guard to stop and search those who they wish seem I don't know. I feel like that's given them far too much power to do something that I would expect a member of the city guard to be doing, not a cleric of Kara, let's say, because you're not just giving it to the Sun Queen, the Moon Princess, and Princess Luminance. You're giving the power to the other temple. I mean, what would a cleric of the Unspoken do with that?
That's why I suggest we have a member of the a member of the right person for the job on the council. That way, they can decide who gets the authority to do what. As a Sun Queen, every pony has their place in the divinity.
The council he won't act as a single authority on the temple. That would be a decision the whole council will make, not just one individual. And now you're saying that we should only pick some individuals that who are within the temple that can do it. So only those from one particular wing, or select few individuals. I think you have. You obviously have an idea, but I'm worried you're not thinking about the wider picture and the complications that may come from this. I can certainly see to it that we can widen our scope to deal with, and if you get me, I'm going to have to give him a name. If you get me Swift Victory's son on the council, I'm certain we can push to have more hoofs patrolling the streets and actually be able to have a proper training system set up, and may be able to actually achieve things through that way. But I'm as religious as the next pony, but there are those who are fanatical, let's say. Think of Milk Thistle. If he was allowed to be given, or more ponies like Milk Thistle given far more authority. What do you think they might do with it? What might they achieve if they have a personal agenda?
I understand your concern, but I can also say that each of the temples could possibly do a different thing. Milk Thistle's right in the right directions. He was the one who helped us learn a lot about the APEP follower.
Oh, I'm sure there are. I am sure there is right individuals for right things, but there's also wrong individuals with the wrong things. I'm sure this is something that can be spoken about, but at the moment I do not have too much of a confidence in it, as I feel you're granting a whole body more power. Perhaps something more separate from the temple can be set up that that can be put forth rather than the temple itself, and that we can pull from those that are clerics as well as temple guards or what have you, or city guards, but I think just granting them overall authority on something would be, that is a matter of internal security, let's say.
That is a fair compromise, I suppose.
Well, it's going to be a far more talking point, but if you're bringing this matter to me, I'm going to only assume that this matter is being brought to the others. This is going to be interesting. I am uncertain on that, as I feel it's opening a can of worms.
I feel like a can of worms has already been opened.
Yeah, well, let's not open up any more cans of worms then. We've already got plenty currently swimming around as it is.
Character Alexandra, if this isn't disrupting your flow of RP, like if this is not something Alexandra would bring up independently, I understand. But I typed a suggestion in chat. What do you think?
Yeah, that could probably work. What about the Chaos Knights that have been reformed from Sir Burned?
That is a possibility. They are obviously an independent branch, but they could possibly be brought in to help the city guard and be a special branch of it. That would be a potential more acceptable route.
And perhaps the temple could help train more paladins for another group.
And again, a more dedicated group may be more acceptable. As long as they are not under the temple itself directly, then I see no issues on it. Or if it's some sort of joint venture anyway.
Very well. I'll leave the details up to you then.
Well, we'll see what happens, because I'm sure we'll be having a meeting soon anyway, and these points will come up. But you have something at least to work on for now, and if you make good headway with Swift Victory's son and Endless Story, do let me know.
Very well. I will at least talk to Endless Story after this, and then see if I can find Swift Victory's son.
Well, if not, I will at least speak to him, as I will be more likely to see him soon.
Very well.
Endless Story is going to be the one I will have difficulty seeing, so
I will focus on him then.
Real quick, out of character, don't you need Field Marshal Thunder's son?
Is it Phil Marshall Fund? Yeah.
Yeah, because remember, Swift Victory is Bird's foster father.
Yeah.
Right. I was thinking it was that, but I got myself so convinced.
Yeah. It's alright. I was thinking to myself, wait, are they volunteering me? Oh no, I'm already bad enough as it is.
No, I wouldn't have called you Swift Victory's son.
Yeah. No, you're right. Phil Marshall Thunder. There we go.
Yeah. Well, we got too many military ponies.
Yeah, I'm getting
It's
confused with names.
Scary. No, there's never too many military police.
Alright.
I know.
Alright. Was there any other matters you wanted to raise with myself, Alex, or if you've got? You seem to be having a lot of political views as of late.
Yes, sadly that seems to be just the case of things as of late, but I have nothing at the moment to bring up with you. Though, I think we should have a campaign to liberate Belvic from the humans.
That would be difficult, given that we are in the process of signing a peace agreement with them. And I believe Belvic is in some of the ground we relinquished to them.
Yes, perhaps nothing official, but
I mean, I won't stop some adventuring group going out and doing something, but I mean, you're all against. Everyone seems to be against actually crushing the human forces on our doorstep. I think a full-scale invasion on a settlement probably wouldn't go down too well. But I would support your endeavour if you find support in it. As I think removing the humans off our lands is definitely something that needs to be done.
agreed.
I would prefer it sooner rather than later.
But there's nothing else I need to speak to you about.
Well then, I will look forward to this next council meeting, as I feel there's going to be a lot of suggestions thrown around. Well, at least I'm prepared for it, at least. Or can be.
Very well. I will take my leave then. Have a good day.
And you.
and Alexander will see himself out.
All right. Um, Okie dokie. What time we're on? Probably have.
It is. Oh, I guess my time doesn't match with your time.
Yeah. Alright. So we probably got time for one more group. Because it's just gone midnight here. Does Burnt and Metal Banana want to do theirs this evening?
What do you think, Evie?
I'm good with it. What about you?
I'm good with it. I'm not great at politics, but I think we should be able to pull this off. I hope.
Don't worry.
Yeah.
Don't worry. I got a plus 13 to diplomacy. You good?
I think it's more about how we phrase things.
Yeah.
Because let's see, what's
Well, don't y'all worry. Just because you might be a little bit shaky, your characters are hardcore diplomats. When you speak, ponies listen.
Yeah. I mean, you don't have to give me exactly what your characters say. You can give me just like the idea or the gist of what you're trying to get across. That is enough as well.
Mm.
So if you don't want to do full role play, you can give partial role play as long as you give an idea of what you're trying to get across.
Yeah, actually, this works out perfectly because then all of us will have a little bit of role play.
Yeah. All right. So you guys don't take as long to try and find Lord Skystriker. Lord Skystriker is a Pegasus pony. You actually find him. He's at home and he's in the process. Who seems to be planning in the process of packing and planning stuff to take when his butler brings you into where he's obviously trying to work out what he needs to take with him and stuff like that.
Okay.
sorry.
Yeah. Reminds me. Is he the guy we're supposed to get a seat for?
No, that would be. Let me check the thing.
Lord Skystriker is already on the council, so it'd be more convincing him of trying to back Endless Story to have a council seat, as well as the other sort of like political points that were raised during the conversation. If you're unsure, I believe Milk Thistle has written up some.
Yeah. It's up a couple of messages.
Yeah. So if you want to refresh yourself, have a scroll up and have a look at those. But that is the idea.
Yeah, I got it.
When he comes in, he'll look up at you and sort of go, "Oh, the champions! Oh, I'm sorry." He calls over to his servant and goes, "Fetch us some refreshments and something to eat. We've got obviously very important guests." As he comes over and he shakes both of your hoofs and sort of greets you warmly.
Bird is he's sort of what's the word I'm looking for? It's not taken aback, but it's when you're not used to treatment like this.
Unaccustomed?
Yes, he has a unaccustomed expression on his face, and he goes, please, Lord Skystriker, it's not, well, I would say it's not a big deal, but, we do have a quest on our hands, hooves, and, so we came to speak with you about about some important matters.
Oh, is this about the my upcoming trip to Clovenheim?
I actually did not. Well, we did learn about that from Milk Thistle. But no. So we are. He Bird looks to Metal slightly from the corner of his eye as he's like,
Yeah. 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 We're here to offer okay. Okay. What's called out of character? The word proposition.
Proposition.
That word. Yeah.
yes.
Be a proposition. Yeah. Okay. Um. Okay. Mental says it's yeah. We have a proposition for you. That's why we're here.
Oh, well, certainly you have some time to listen to see what you have to say.
Yeah, so there's another matter of how we caught a doomsayer earlier, but that's for after the fact.
Well, one thing at a time then.
Yes, and my apologies if I'm not used to political dealings. He sort of says with a bit of a nervous smile. Either way, we have we come with a proposition on the two empty seats within the council. Uh, one of the ponies that we had in mind is Endless Story out of character. Endless Story is the one that deals with the he's the high priest of the author, right?
Yes,
Yes.
correct.
Yes. So we wish to propose High Priest Endless Story to fill the fourth seat within the council. We
Oh, I suppose. He goes, oh, I suppose that makes kind of sense. I mean, he does have an honorary role already. I suppose it won't take too much to just bring him on fully.
indeed. This one you might not entirely agree with. We wish to propose that the temple be given legal authority to enforce the laws within the interest of unifying Everglow, as well as to protect it from dissidents and heretics. This is kind of where the Doomsayer thing comes in, but once again, one at a time, and we'll explain everything after.
Okay.
He looks to Middle Banana with a soft nod.
Okay. Remind me out of character. Who's the point again?
You're talking to. I nearly said Swift Victory. You're talking to
Sky
Lord.
Striker.
You're talking to Lord Skystriker.
I mean the pony we're trying to put in the second seat.
Oh,
Endless Story.
No, I think he means the other one.
There was no proper name you guys given. It was just somebody from St. Moon's Reach.
This makes things more complicated.
right, Field Marshal Thunder. And
Yeah.
the other seat we would like to propose Field Marshal Thunder's son for it, as it would be of great help for Villa Town and the unification of the Ponylands.
I'm going to stop you there, Burn. I don't think you even know that Field Marshal's Thunder's son is actually one of the generals, because the only person who I know in character knows that is Alex, as he's had a lot of discussion with the Duchess. So you don't.
Right.
He's not actually a individual you potentially are personally aware of.
Alright. Yeah, sorry about that.
That's fine. The only person you know of is Field Marshal Thunder for definite. You know he will have a few generals, but you probably don't know them directly by name.
Right. Well, the other seat is. I would like to suggest one of the generals from St. Moon's reach that aren't under,
Field Marshal Thunder.
yeah, Field Marshal Thunder. So it it wouldn't be a bad idea.
Oh. Hmm. I mean, they don't. I mean, they won't know too much about our internal politics, and I mean, they are soldiers after all. I was hoping more somebody. Well, I was hoping we could get somebody from a less noble standing, somebody who I know is a little bit closer to the people. I mean, that's who I was hoping we could try and find as a uh, uh, one of the candidates. Anyway, I mean, bringing in the religious head sounds sensible. They do, and he's already got a position, but I don't know. I think somebody more closer to the common folk might help give the common people more of a voice on the council.
This is
Unfortunately,
going ahead.
unfortunately, because of what the cult is doing in with letting the people choose, is manipulating them and making them um, uh, making them scared and fearful, and ends up siding with the with demons. So, we were thinking of someone more, or m- a little bit more of a enforcer, that knows how to keep these things in check, like without out doing the worst, as without doing any damage. So it's sorry for my stuttering in character, out of character.
That's fine.
It's totally fine. I do it as well. So although mine is less of a big deal, but I totally understand. So like you're totally fine.
Oh, he goes. Oh, I didn't realise things were getting that bad with the populace.
Yeah, it turns out the doomsayers were spreading dissent and word of. He stops himself and he goes, "Are you familiar with the being known as a pep?"
Um, I'm not as up with my religious side of things. I mean, I assume it's a religious matter. You said being rather than pony.
Yeah. Uh, Turns out that a pep is. How would you describe it, Mel Banana? Would you say trying to destroy us in order to bring back, bring about change by force?
Can you say that again?
Would you say that a pep is trying to bring back or bring about change by force by killing us off instead of letting nature take its course?
That's that's what the information we have gathered about. Yeah. Uh, 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 uh,
Hmm. I see. So what you think?
and
Oh, sorry. Carry on.
and like and like I think he would. Yeah, he's doing it by manipulating and deceiving opponents.
Hmm. Well, I mean, wouldn't somebody who's closer to the populace be able to more understand when these sort of things are happening and help bring them back rather than a military person who will probably come in with a bit of a heavy hoof and start trying to arrest people and round them all up?
Well, that's kind of the thing. He sort of blinks a bit. He goes, you re- do you recall any legends of the chaos?"
Um, I can't say that I do, I'm afraid.
So the Chaos Knights were they are a military force that is it centers on the chaotic and the demonic, meaning this kind of situation. Uh, we ended up catching one of the Doomsayers earlier today. He goes by the name Full Destruction, and I am gonna be honest with you. I'd I'd be more than happy to have my men and I uh, start doing start dealing with these sorts of situations on a daily basis. Granted, they have yet to fully pass the ritual for initiation, but that'll come in due time.
So, a member of the Chaos Knights to have a council seat. Is that what you're saying?
He sort of like he sort of gets that deer in the headlights look as at least internally as he's like, shit, what did I just say? Crap. Yeah, he blinks a bit and says, well, I mean, we do have the Chaos Knights are, you know, good at dealing with these sorts of things and making sure that they can seek out and deal with the heretics without raising much suspicion.
Oh.
So,
I mean, it sounds like they're already doing that. Am I wrong?
no, you are not.
Okay, so it sounds like they just need to keep doing what they're doing. I don't see any issues.
Um,
Go on.
I'm trying to think here.
It's alright. I'm just like, shit.
Yeah, that's you made this situation more complicated, mate.
I'm sorry. It's not like I meant to do it.
Oh, you've dug yourself into this rabbit hole.
Yes, I
Yeah,
did.
goddammit.
I just.
Now, how come in every campaign, and I always have to dig someone out of their own mistakes?
I mean, hey, this is the first time it's really happened this campaign. One of
Okay.
you.
You can always explain that you misspoke. You don't have to,
yeah.
stay on the right. You
Right.
put yourself in.
Yeah.
My apologies, Lord Skystriker. I believe I misspoke on that. He looks to Metal Banana and gives a smile that's like the side of his head that's hidden from Lord Skystriker has like that anime sweat drop bead. It just goes down the side of his face.
Yeah. I think what my friend and meant and by the Chaos Knights. It's like still military, but they're organized. And know what they're doing, and as you know, and know how to do it. It's without disturbing the peace. Is that's what we believe if the generals at Metu says whatever land they're from.
Yeah, St. Moon Treats.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't spoken to any of the St. Moon's Reach generals, but I suppose if I could go over and have a word with them, but and see what their standing is and how they feel about the common folk and stuff. But I mean, if I speak to a few of them and I don't feel they've got the best things in mind for the common folk, then I mean, I don't think they would make good candidates, and I will probably stick to my guns to see if I can find somebody somebody outside of the normal noble sphere, as I think that's what the council needs at the moment is some fresh perspective. But I can respect fresh perspective from a different city, as long as they have a suitable mindset. If if you do have any particular candidates in mind, then if you pass me their name, I will have a word with them. But I believe they are currently in the old Kindblades training grounds at the moment, so I can visit them once I've finished some packing here.
Fair enough. Thank you for hearing us out, Lord Skystriker. Bird is gonna say as he bows to him respectfully.
Oh, before you do go though, have a word with your clothing in your group, Milk Thistle, I believe. Um, Check with him what would make a good gift for the leaders of Clovenheim.
Alright.
As I'm trying to source a suitable gift.
That's perfectly understandable. Yes, we shall bring it up to him and see what he thinks. Thank you very much once again. Apologies for bothering you while you're trying to pack.
No, it's perfectly fine. I'm honoured that you champions have come and seen me.
The pleasure is all ours.
Yeah.
Go on ahead.
The pleasure's ours.
And with that, we are going to turn around and calmly exit the premises.
And then run away screaming.
I mean, that's how I usually react in every other role-playing game.
Awkward conversations. Run away.
I gotta say, Burnt, and I have seen worse. As for someone's not used to politics, you did pretty well.
He sort of cringes a bit, then goes, yeah, thank you, Metal. Let's just try to rest up and relax a bit once we get back.
Although talking about the Chaos Knights almost killed it.
Yeah, please don't remind me about that.
If you want, I can help you with politics and the best ways to.
Yeah, that might actually help out a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, so we head on back to regroup and wait for Milk Thistle.
Alright. I believe we are over time with stopping. Do you want to stop here, Milk Thistle, and save yours for the start of next session?
Yes, timing is actually perfect. I was going to request that very thing.
Ah, fair enough. Alright. Well, I hope you had fun and questioning your captive and learning some information out and trying to play more politics.
Mhm.
It's fun. It's fun. Me as a player, I'm not used to doing political stuff, but I'm able to semi-adapt. I kinda know what I'm doing. Kinda.
Yeah. I'm somewhat I could do politics games, but Alexandrite is not a politician. He's I see a target, I go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bird is more of a, oh look, it's a monster, a runs up to he's like the kid with the big old bamboo stick, you know, that's just beating the crap out of someone.
Yeah.
Well-
I found the,
Yeah.
I know the perfect political position for Alexandrite. Majority whip. What's that? You're not going to agree and vote along party lines? You better.
Yeah, I'm just when he brings out his sword as he says it.
You'd better vote, damn it.
Catch on
Vote or
fire.
die.
If you want us to support your re-election campaign next year, you better vote no.
Oh, God. That reminds me, that makes me think that particular thing is like a skit out of Robot Chicken.
All right. Well,
No, that's real life. That's how funny it is.
yeah. All right. I'm gonna bring the stream to an end here.
Alright.
Auf Wiedersehen. Thank you very much for joining us. We will see you next time.
Goodbye.